This is it. The Battle of Winterfell is here. The largest and longest battle ever filmed on a television show. Hell, even longer than Helm's Deep. The movie is here. Is it good? Is it worth it? Does it feel Game of Thrones? Let's find out. Battle craze! Oh my god, that was one of the most amazing battles I've seen in a very long time. Before we get to our thoughts, though, let me thank our sponsors at Stardust, fellow soldiers at OBS. They was on the battlefields when we were getting a lot of demonetization at YouTube. They stepped up and sponsored us. So in return, if you ever enjoy the Angry Joe Show, if you enjoy this series, if you enjoy my reviews, download the app. It's completely free. There's no reason not to. We're putting exclusive reactions for the episodes of Games of Thrones. My buddy Jeremy Johns and Chris Stuckman, they've got accounts there so you can see what they're saying. And it's basically an app where you just share reactions. And the person who tags us, we're going to select a winner, which will be announced next week to see the premiere party. Get to go to the final episode premiere party with a bunch of different personalities. So, let's jump right in here. The battle is over. What an amazing freaking battle. But I don't know. The anger. Angry Joe. Guys, help me. I am so conflicted because I feel like this was one of the most amazing battles, well directed. All the action was good. But for all the major story points, what the fuck happened? Oh my god, everybody has plot armor. This doesn't feel Game of Thrones. Wait, there were so many cool things though. Oh my god, there were so many scenes that made me feel like throughout the whole episode I was like, yeah. And when anything can make me feel like that, I fucking love it. But by the end, it just had the huge potential to disappoint me, but it's so conflicted. Guys, tell me I'm going to get downvoted to hell. I can tell it already because so many Game of Thrones fans have been invested in the show for 7 fucking years. They're going to defend it no matter what. But am I the only one out there that felt disappointed, that felt like, wait, what?
If you take a look at the Deadpool that we had going on, seriously, you and I both thought everybody was gonna fucking die.
The kill count is so low of characters that matter. Obviously, there was a lot of deaths with regards to the army, but nobody gives a shit about the army. And I have plenty of really stupid moments to talk about there. Let's talk about how in the previous fucking episode, they have a battle scene set up, and there's so many white dominoes. I don't know where they found all these white dominoes, and you have one little fucking group of like Dothraki. And what was your fucking tactic in this battle? To charge the Dothraki into all of those white dominoes. The stupidest battle tactic I've ever seen, and they get fucking obliterated.
Hey.
What the else did you expect?
At least they got their swords lit on fire.
And we got to see the direwolf. I love getting said direwolf
and
for 2 seconds.
Ghost is dead.
No,
Ghost fucking dead.
Maybe.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna back it up because I'm already starting to call out the stupid moments. Let's stop.
It opens on that scene.
No, it doesn't. It opens so fucking well. And even the flame swords, I loved to death. I thought it was so visually impressive. And even when they were dying in the distance and you saw their flames go out, and I'm like, this is a fucking amazing shot. It's so thematic. But they start, everything's like it's the calm before the storm. Then they don't even see him. That's one criticism I have. I wanted them to actually see a few of the White Walkers and then charge, fire the trebuchets and catapults.
Only once.
But that didn't happen. They just do it for no reason.
They needed a whole Lord of the Rings reenactment of the horses charging into battle, and your heart is, with them, and you're totally into it. And then
Only
the
it didn't make
trebuchet
sense
shots
here.
Well,
going over.
instead of only Faramir coming back, it's only Jay Bear coming
just
back.
Jay Bear.
So.
And I was staring at Jay Bear. I was like, "Is he a fucking zombie now or something?" But no, he was just
Shakes
a
his
coward.
head.
He
no,
just
you
fell
plot
back.
armor. Plot armor.
Plot armor. He returned. We don't see fucking Ghost returning. They couldn't drop a little fucking scene of Ghost running. I don't understand it. Why? Because it's an expensive special effect. Did you see all the special effects in this? Okay, hold on. I'm dominating this. I'm dominating this because as a fan, I'm so conflicted because I loved the battle. I am all about battles. Nobody likes battles more than me.
Can we talk about some of the most horrific scenes in cinema
Yes.
that I've seen in a really long time? One of the most horrifying parts is when you see the tidal wave of White Walkers rolling in. You have a whole image of Jon back in that scene where he almost drowned in the Battle of the Bastards, and you're just like, the fuck is happening
fucking
here?
loved it. It was not even a
Ooh,
fight.
I like it.
And I love the way they did it because it was like you got the Sully with their spears, and then you might kill one, but it was like a wave. It was like World War Z up in here, and you was like, what the fuck?
Everybody.
And then it was so good, guys. The actual fucking battle.
Yep.
And it was just, and then it was well directed because you have one of the longest fight scenes, right? So you got a bunch of battle right at the beginning. You got the calm, then you got the battle, and then you've got like a fucking aliens. You got a fucking like a stealth mission, like hiding from like the ramparts. No, it was a retreat.
Yeah.
And then it was the trench fire.
Okay, so Grey Worm should have died in that point when they couldn't get Daenerys to light the trenches.
Yeah.
And he stepped up with that entire guard to completely eliminate their ability to get through. That's when Grey Worm should have died.
This is
That's
Game
when
of
he should have
Thrones.
died.
Not just him, everybody on the fucking front
Well,
lines. You're telling me of 60,000 soldiers that is out there.
Yeah.
Everybody dies except for our characters.
Brienne should have died right there, protecting, or, maybe even not.
Did you see how fast those zombies
Can I talk
were?
about the stupid stuff now?
Let's fucking talk. We've been talking about it for a while.
You wanted to hold off.
I dominated it, and I'm sorry because I wanted to call out the good things first, but I can't even shut myself up for all the moments.
The whole fight was so completely and thoroughly one-sided, which is fine, right? It can be one-sided because there's hundreds of thousands of White Walkers.
That's the way it should have been, yes.
I think it would have been more compelling if you have it that the heroes have a trench, maybe not behind them, but maybe in front of them. They funnel them into a way they can defend their castle. They've had days to do it. They've got dragons. They have all these other things.
Completely worse tactics.
Give me a little bit of hope. Like the dragons come down and like decimate the troops a little bit. You kill just a little bit of them. But instead, we just get them. They get pummeled the entire time because all of your 40,000 Dothraki die in the first 3 seconds off screen. They got Emerald Akbard, where you just you kind of see them, and then you're told that all the Dothraki die.
They're all gone.
And there's dead, and you run them into the darkness. And then the Unsullied, no one looks battle effective at all in this entire thing other than all the named characters who cannot die. For an hour,
It's plot armor.
Brienne
it's
got
horrible.
completely knocked
Horrible.
down.
She gets
like
tackled.
overwhelmed.
Well, she gets tackled. Someone spears her, diving spears her to the
Yeah.
ground. I was like, oh man, she's
This
gonna
is-
die. This is it. This is when the plot armor goes away. Nope.
Brienne is alive. Podrick is alive. Jamie's alive.
Tormund?
Tormund is alive. Everybody on the
Arya's
fucking
alive.
front
Jon's
lines
alive.
is alive after what they tried to show us, which the intention was this wasn't a fight. This was a fucking slaughter.
We've been building towards this for so long now. You've been talking for a long time how the Night King's forces have been growing in power and
Yeah.
But the problem that we have with it was that everybody fucking lives. Even minor characters whose arcs are fucking complete.
We wanted our characters to feel like maybe this is all going to work out. Maybe things are all going to be okay.
It's like fan service.
Can we fucking discuss Sam? That coward.
He died. He
That
died
coward.
like 15 times in the
Yeah,
battle.
he's
How is
run-
Sam still alive? He's dead 15
Ed
times.
sacrificed himself. He gets knocked down. Ed goes.
poor
He
Ed.
kills a White Walker. He goes, Sam, get up. And he has to reach down and pull his butt up.
Here's the thing. I don't expect Sam to be courageous or anything, but it's just the fact that he's still alive after all
it doesn't
of that.
make sense. This is Game of Thrones, right? This is
No, not
supposed to-
anymore.
This
No.
exactly
big
not
enough.
anymore. This was the one series They could kill characters. That puts everybody in danger. And at the end of it, we have 3 characters that you may care about and 2 other characters that die that you made that were side characters that their stories were pretty much completed anyway already. 5 important characters of 30 important characters left. That's all we're gonna get. And do you think more characters are gonna die after the White Walkers at Cersei? Hell no. There are gonna be fewer deaths from the fucking White Walker battle.
Well, there's no more White Walker. We resolved the White Walker line in
by the way.
this whole episode.
Okay.
There's no more.
All right.
So this is the culmination of one of the key storylines in the whole show.
So we're gonna take a short break here because what was good about the episode? We were railing on we're nitpicking. No, it's not nitpicking because these are major decisions.
Yes.
That was a major decision to stupidly charge your main force forward and die. It was a major decision to have the fog come in, and the Night King fog.
That was a cop-out.
No longer you were able to use the dragons effectively or find the Night King. I thought that was a smart tactic by the Night King, but you were saying
It felt cheap because I wanted.
you couldn't see anything.
I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Now you want to.
That was to hide the special effects.
Oh, for sure.
And thanks
I
God
understand.
Melisandre shows up, the red fucking woman, and puts flames because at least I can see what the fuck is going on.
She lights the trenches. She's like the most effective character throughout this
Yeah.
entire episode, honestly, apart from Arya.
I think the thing that they did really well here was direction, and I think that the director, as long as
Yes,
he
the
didn't write this
director.
episode, as long as he had no part in writing this episode, did a fantastic job because the battle sequences, while stupid and like everything that they did was stupid, were amazing.
Threaded together, amazing. There were moments to breathe. There were moments to reflect. There were stealth moments when Arya was in the fucking keep and she was ducking back and forth. And then, literally, the whites are so fucking sensitive to sound that blood tapping on the floor gets them all to go after her. Then later on, in the big epic moment, she makes 0 noise and comes out of nowhere, like materializes out of nowhere.
She flies.
Yeah.
And that's the resolution. She attempts to stab the Night King, who has made it to Bran, and Bran is sitting there the whole fucking time doing fucking nothing.
He's not making
what
eye
the
contact.
fuck
He's
is
warging.
Bran doing?
He's warging into something, right? It could be
He's
crows.
warging. He
it could
warged
be
into the crows, Alex. He warged into the crows to fly forward to look for the Night King.
He goes-
and he sat there with the fucking crows, and it came out, and then when he gets, all right, that's cool. What happened?
I-
Oh shit!
I must
I
go.
hope that Ghost is alive and he was warging into Ghost and he's just like running away. He's like, no, we have to save the wolf. We need one.
He did nothing.
I know.
And
Well,
it
he
pissed
did
me
make
the
eye
fuck off.
contact. He lured the Night King over by not making eye
Well,
contact.
that was his purpose. His whole purpose was to lure the Night King out. They did that, and Arya gets the fucking kill. Did you guys like this? Did this come out of left field?
So I love.
Jon isn't involved at all. It's fucking Arya, which, you know what? I actually don't mind it.
See, I like that it was Arya. I just hate the way they did it.
Yes.
I felt that it was so out of nowhere. At least give me some scenes where she's setting up or she's on the rooftop and looking down waiting for her opportunity and Theon's a distraction or Jon's a distraction or something. She materializes in midair. There is hundreds, if not thousands, of White Walkers in the
They
area.
are so sensitive that they
general-
can hear
Your
blood,
blood
drop
dropping.
on the ground.
And then
General gets one whiff of it, and he's just like, wait.
He can sense
Yeah.
Jon coming from, 300 feet away,
But
but
not
he
a
can't
little
sense
girl?
Arya coming. And she does the cool little thing that with the blade that she did with Brienne, which was set up previously.
She seemed like the best candidate, provided we weren't thinking about her in that moment.
Oh, God, I think it's probably 3 years now or something. We've known that it was going to be Arya who delivers that fatal blow.
Thing. But he had predicted the whole thing. He gave Arya the knife. He also predicted, nobody's
Okay.
tried to use dragon fire against the Night King.
He said maybe it might not work.
He's
He
Doctor
says
Strange.
nobody's
Doesn't
ever
work.
tried it before.
Right?
But
It
the look
doesn't
on
work.
his face was like, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, no, this isn't going to work. Here, you need this because you're going to end up killing.
Which
It's
was
like,
a badass moment as they're fighting. Jon is able to.
The dragon is shot
The
down.
dragon is shot down.
He has the opportunity.
Well, bit down.
bit
Yeah,
down.
it's bit
There's a
down.
fight. I love the scenes
The
in
dragon
in
fight
I
was
love the
cool.
dragon shit because they
that's
still
cool.
stuck together. I was screaming at the screen.
Yeah.
I was like, "Stay together! It's got to be 2 dragons versus 1 dragon." I was so invested.
That was
I
real
fucking
sweet,
loved
too.
it.
You see the evil dragon get its neck chewed out, so as it's spitting fire, it's coming out the side too.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
"This is
cool.
so cool." The direction was so
So
good.
cool. And then John hiding from the dragon. John motherfucking tries to 1v1 a fucking dragon.
So had they use that scene as like Arya uses that opportunity where like the dragon is kind of guarding the tree and Bran and trying to prevent anyone from showing up, but John has to like misdirect.
it,
But
yeah.
we got none of that. It's just like Arya just materializes out of thin air.
It would have been nice if John misdirect, but instead it's Theon, whose whole purpose is to. His kill count is fucking high as
Yeah.
shit.
Do not
He's-
like Theon.
I
know I'm supposed
agree.
to like
I
Theon.
agree
I
that
don't like him.
Theon, I'm not gonna forgive him. Like, die. You need to die after betraying and doing all these fucking things. They embrace
But
you in open arms. You're home.
Bran gives him the go-ahead. Oh, you're a
The-
good
you're a
guy.
good
Theon,
man.
you're kind of a good
You're
guy.
a good guy.
All right.
Now you're a good guy. You weren't a good guy before, but
Which-
now you're a good guy.
That was that supposed to give them the opportunity where Arya appears? Theon must go sacrifice himself so that the Night King dies. Was that what you were intending to
so
do?
you're
so
giving-
Theon charges.
You're giving Bran a ton of credit for like orchestrating everything. He could just be sitting there going, "I have no idea what's gonna happen."
He's
And-
just like, well, I'm dead.
he knew that he just wanted to get the Night King isolated, and he did his job. So that was
He wasn't
Bran's
even
job.
isolated.
But I want to know what the fuck Bran was warging into that whole time where he's sitting there.
Oh,
I want to know. Please tell me in another episode that that's set up and Bran actually fucking
he
did
was doing
something.
some stuff.
The elephants.
So you're telling me
The elephants are
yeah,
coming.
The fucking
God damn it.
4 elephants.
Yeah, there's no one survived this
Cersei.
episode but named characters. We need something to Storm King's Landing.
Oh.
Elephants.
Well, here's the
Elephants.
thing. Why I'm so pissed and why we're jumping all around is even though it was well directed, even though it was well acted, I loved even some of the dialogue in here.
Yeah.
I love the action. I love the CGI, which has so much improved from over the years. And it was a great battle. But like every important choice that was made, I was like, what the fuck? That's dumb. That's so dumb. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And everybody has plot armor. They're in the fucking courtyard. Literally, nobody's alive
Yeah.
except for the main characters going, like, they're
the
backed
corner.
up into a fucking corner.
Yeah.
And everybody survives.
Yep.
This isn't Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh, can we talk about the other point where people should have died? In the crypt? Where I thought they were going to actually bring back the whole Game of Thrones situation where Sansa and Tyrion, everybody's awoken. They're just being
That's a great
massacred.
scene.
And, Sansa pulls out the dagger that Arya gave her, and Tyrion kisses her hand. He pulls out his own dagger. He sighs this sigh, and you go, oh my
Holy
goodness.
fuck.
Pans back over. They're all fine.
I thought they were going to commit suicide.
Well, do
and
like a
kill
mist,
each
like
other.
do the mist, and then like they kill each other, they kill themselves,
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
kill the Night King, and they didn't need to
And
do
it's
it.
fine.
Well, and then
Holy
the entire
fucking
time she's
shit.
like over here squeezing my leg.
Yeah.
It was just like what?
That would have been Game of Thrones, or at least, and then I was like, oh my god, that might have been even too dark for Game of Thrones, but
No.
at least
That
it would
would've
have been
been
shocking.
Well,
but
they,
okay, but hold
they
on.
teased on that before. Like
So-
Cersei's ready to poison herself,
and she's like, you were the nicest of all the husbands
Oh,
that
that
I
was-
had.
that
That was a
was
nice
nice.
fucking moment, but yet it was ruined.
it was ruined because like she's still like even though everyone above them, 60,000 people
Fighting
just
to
died.
death.
Well, the Dragon Queen still sucks,
Yeah.
and she doesn't like the North, and
right.
I don't like
the
the
North
North.
has to be independent. Shut the fuck up! Are
Stop
you
it.
serious? You're still talking fucking politics and throne shit. Anyways, but I thought I went from about to suicide each other
Yeah.
to Tyrion saying, no, I'm going to go around, because Tyrion grabs his blade, he goes around the corner, and I
Yeah.
thought, oh, fuck, Tyrion's going to sacrifice his life so that Sansa,
Yeah.
a woman that he had married, his ex-wife essentially, tries to save her, a person, he has respect for. But no, he just goes into the next little cubby hole.
Yeah, where Varys and all of like the rest of the group,
Yeah.
there's maybe 10 people who died in the crypt, maybe 1 million who died up top,
And,
all the main
you
characters.
saw the previous scene, all these fucking White
Yeah.
Walkers going by. They couldn't
Seriously.
turn their head fucking right because the next little cubby hole they go into, Varys is there, and Missandei,
Missandei.
Missandei, and a bunch of people are hiding
Yeah,
in there.
they're
And
cool.
the White Walkers didn't fucking see them. Do you
They can't
see?
look left or right. They've got rigor mortis in the neck, and they
In the
can't
neck, yeah.
turn.
Fucking see
They can
that.
only go forward.
Just straight.
All right.
Those Starks
I
have been in
can't-
there a
I
long
can't.
time.
I'm going to fucking. I have to take.
Well,
a big
speaking of
My
drinking, I
goodness.
wanted this episode to be like pour one out for the homies. Like we lost someone important, and no one died.
Nobody.
We
lost
important
Jay
died.
Bear.
All right, let's talk about the people we died. Who actually died that was important that you care about?
Jay Bear.
Yeah, Jay Bear we knew was going to die.
We knew was going to die.
Everybody knew was going to die.
But-
So there was zero surprises in this fucking episode except for Arya killing the Night King.
the-
That was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
And then the second surprise is everybody else lived.
And
Yeah,
right.
that's what was
But
surprising.
that's not fuck that.
Yeah.
Because this is Game of Thrones.
They should have
And they're
died.
and now this is like every other series.
Yeah. it's
Because
fine.
you know the kill count was going to be highest here. And
Only-
yeah,
So
I
we
think a
assume.
few more characters might die. In
I'm
Cersei.
gonna be pissed
If they don't.
if at the beginning of this next episode that's like, oh, so and so died of their, they got wounded and they died.
So and so
Let
died
me-
of dysentery.
Let me put this into perspective for you guys who are downvoting the video because I know you are.
It's fine.
It's fine. I had to be true to myself. I love the episode. Like, here's the thing. I'll give that battle a 10 out of fucking 10. And all the visuals, a 10 out of motherfucking 10.
I will agree with you.
Yes, I fucking loved it. But the story moments and the decisions made, I'm so I have no fucking idea. 5? 6? Let's talk about it some more.
Oh, yeah.
3?
But what I
not
was
there
trying to
yet.
say is that, think about this. The entire White Walker army, the menace that has been set up since episode 1, the pilot,
Yeah.
over this 7 years, that White Walker army is less effective than the Lannister army. The Lannister army shows up to fucking Hightower,
yeah, I got it.
murders all the Tyrells.
Yep.
Doesn't leave a single one fucking alive, well, other than the ones that we know, and kills the old lady. Fucking
Orlena.
badass, smart, strategic, fucking awesome, just kills everybody. I forget her name.
Orlena.
Olenna Tyrell.
Orlena, yeah. And so the Lannisters are more effective than the White Walkers.
Yep.
Yeah. Named characters can't die.
It was
plot
all this
points.
plot armor. That's the problem that I had. So, Joe, what would you be happy with? I would have been happy with at least double the deaths. Double the deaths. Take it from 5 to 8, 10,
Yeah.
10, and then I'd have been, and everybody would have been like, and maybe a tragic, like something fucking tragic, like the suicide or
Yeah,
Tyrion
that would've been
sacrificing himself, or Jaime, like Brienne is going like this,
okay,
and
so-
she's about to die. She's about to die, and then Jaime doesn't and if you saw that Jaime sacrificed himself, and then he's like, and then maybe Brienne has to kill Jaime, right, in order to prevent him from being a White Walker. But no, we got this. And my batteries died. So, but it's actually good because it gives me a moment to breathe and calm down. Remember, we film these things 7 minutes after we fucking watch it, and it's a lot to process. My main point is, I just felt like too many people had plot armor, even though it was filmed very, very well, and there were lots of what the hell moments or what the fuck moments. So I'm going to let some of y'all talk now. I'm sorry.
Well, like, who actually
I have
died?
so much passion for it.
Well, I mean,
you
I
know?
do too, and it's one of the reasons that I thought this episode was beautifully shot and beautifully directed.
Yes.
It's just all of the writing decisions down to the battle plans,
Mm-hmm.
how they treated the characters, who died in what way, who
Right.
didn't die, and like
When they
you
should have.
constantly tease at Brienne dying. Honestly, probably 4 or 5 times, and then she continues to live, and then after the 4th time, it's like,
Gets
I'm
speared.
not afraid of her dying anymore.
Same
You've
thing with
showed
We
Sam.
don't believe
yeah,
you.
you like say, oh man, I wanted to like John even looks at Sam dying on the ground, screaming and crying, and
He
he's
has to make that decision to keep going.
and he just like
Yeah,
goes
he
on
left
his way
everyone.
because it's like not even John believes that Sam can possibly die at this
Yeah,
point. He's just like, everyone here has got plot armor. I got to go on and do my thing. So like we lose Ed, right? So Sam is a coward,
Yep.
and he falls over, and Ed's like, Sam, I need you, get up for. I mean, you just leave him there to die because.
And then, bam,
And then
stabbed
he
in
gets
the back.
stabbed in the back. And then the one thing we haven't talked about is little Lyanna Mormont is there. She's
Oh
like
my
directing
gosh.
people.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, she's like really in charge and everything's good. And then a giant runs
that
in.
moment was we all were
That
like,
was cool.
oh
Oh
shit.
man! And he slaps her, and it was like, and it's like she's dead.
She might-
and she was pretty damn
Wait,
close.
he
to-
slapped somebody else. He
No,
didn't
he
slap her. He
slaps
slapped
her.
a little
Yeah.
girl,
He
a
slaps
giant. She's fucking dead right
Yeah.
there.
Well, so and then he's like indiscriminately murdering people. She gets up, grabs a weapon,
She screams at him.
and she screams at him. And then I was like, oh, he's just gonna take his club and indiscriminately smash her,
Or step on her.
but anything. But instead, he picks her up, and not only does he pick her up, but he puts her 2 feet away from his eyeball to like look at. He's squeezing her to death and stuff too. But this isn't a living thing. This is an undead zombie that's there to murder everybody indiscriminately.
And I think it was the giant from Heart's Home.
We probably from Hard Home.
Hard Home.
And then she stabs him in the eye, and she gets his giant warrior's death. And it was
What the-
kind of.
You want to know what that was? That was pure fan service.
Of course.
There's no doubt in my mind that the writers went, this little girl is so fucking popular. Everybody goes gaga over her.
Lyanna Mormont was supposed to be a one-scene character, and then we met Bella Ramsey, and we realized that we would not be doing our jobs if we kept her as a one-scene character.
So let's give her the most glorious fucking death that we can.
Yeah.
When
She's
in
in
reality,
You can't give a big death to everybody who dies in this battle, because which would have been too much. But there also, if she were to die, there was no way to not make a moment of it. So that's where the zombie giant comes in.
in real Game of Thrones, that fucking giant would have came in, bam, smashed her immediately, and it's over. It's fucking over. But yeah, we get this scene, and there's just so many of those. And I honestly thought the series was above this, and that we were that something would surprise me. But I guess I was wrong. I guess I was wrong. So.
Yeah. And then the next death we get is Sir Berek, and Sir Berek he's running through the keep with the Hound, who had been kind of off, having a little episode. He's staring into the fire, PTSD.
I like this as well.
He leans over and he goes, Hound, we need you. And then he goes, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And, we're all going to die here. He turns and you see Arya, fall and on the roof somewhere. And he goes, well, you tell her that. The second he sees Arya, he takes
all that
off.
stuff is great.
Yeah, that was great.
I love Sir Berek's death because his purpose, he kept being resurrected over and over. Why is he being resurrected? Well, now it's revealed that he saves Arya, and Arya is the one that fucking kills the Night King.
Yep.
So I liked it when it looked like he was kind of holding back, and
yeah.
I wanted him to be, it was like a Hodor moment, right?
No, our Hodor watch has ended because
Yeah, they ain't gonna fucking
No
do
more
Hodor.
Hodor.
They're not doing Hodor.
That's fine.
Damn it. That's why we got Lyanna. Zombie Lyanna.
Zombie
We got
for 2
a
seconds.
random Solid soldier for 2 seconds. And
Yeah.
we got people.
the new head of the Dothraki. And
But going back to the Berek, that was a really good scene in that hallway, and they're fighting everybody off. The Hound has purpose. He was scared by the fire, kind of frozen, and then he finds purpose with Arya defending her. Well, I defended you. I fought for you.
Yeah.
He fights for her, Berek, and then they end up in this room, and the red woman is there, and I was like, oh shit, Arya, she's on her list. Arya's gonna fucking kill her. But no, it's like
everyone alive is kind of forgiven.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like
the honor, everybody's forgiven,
Yeah.
and then she's like, "What do we say when death comes calling or
To the
knocking
god
at
of
the
death,
door?"
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is a
Not
great
today.
fucking line."
And then she turns around and runs away, and you're just
Not
like,
today.
well before
I
she-
said it. I said it before she said. I was like,
I
"She's
did
gonna say,
too, yeah.
Not today.
Yeah.
Well, more importantly, we get the first bit of foreshadowing that she's going to kill the Night King. This is 30 minutes before it happens. She's like, I told you would close many eyes. Brown eyes, green eyes, pause.
Yeah.
Blue eyes. Blue eyes. And then it's like, also, I need you to run away, disappear for 30
See,
minutes.
that's not my problem with
Yeah.
the episode. I don't mind Arya killing the Night
Yeah,
King,
it's just
even
a-
though I thought maybe Jon would be more involved. I mean, even the actress. I read a quote because I was so shocked at this. I read it, and she was like, "Yeah, I read the script, and I was like, oh my god, everybody's gonna hate this."
Yeah.
She thought that's like, how is it my character deserves? Maybe people won't think my character deserves to do this.
She totally
even her
deserves
boyfriend
it. Yeah.
was like, wait, shouldn't Jon be involved in somehow? But Jon's not involved. She does it all herself. I guess she was the princess that was promised, Azor. You know that
Azor
Azor
Ahai,
Ahai?
yeah.
I have no idea how that. I don't know if it's going to be different in the books now, and this is what the HBO did, or if George R.R. Martin was like, no, Arya kills the fucking Night King. He shatters into a million pieces. Never gets to fucking use his sword, by the way. I kept looking at that fucking sword like it was so fucking pro, and I was like, oh my god, Jon could have had like a little sword battle with him or something, and then Arya could have came up behind, fought him together like, I don't know, as a family.
Yeah.
But no, fucking Arya gets the single-handed kill. Glory to Arya.
We hope to kind of avoid the expected, and Jon Snow has always been the hero, the one who's been the savior, but it just didn't seem right to us for this moment.
She seemed like the best candidate, provided we weren't thinking about her in that moment.
What are the guys doing in this fucking
I
series?
don't have a
No.
problem.
I guess John does 1v1 a dragon, which was fucking
Well,
cool
he
as
doesn't
fuck.
1v1. He just like gets up and yells in a dragon's face, and then thinks he's gonna die, and then.
But he's distracting that dragon, because if that dragon is somewhere
Oh,
else, we're fucked.
We're looking way deep into that because, like, I know that I was using that to justify. It's like maybe that's
Yeah.
what Arya was doing, waiting for Jon to. But that's not at all what they showed us.
Yeah.
And I like that Arya killed the Night King, or I didn't have a problem with it at all.
Right.
Seems great. The thing is that the scene just feels unearned because she just shows up in the middle of nowhere. She breaks this giant, like, blockade of White Walkers and White Walker generals and the Night King, and then she just flies out of nowhere.
Right.
Show me her on a rooftop or trying to get in position
Yeah.
or worried about this dragon, and then the scene feels a little bit more earned. Otherwise, she just materializes in thin air, leaps. I mean, the Night King is far away from all these people.
Yeah.
She's like leaped 30 feet, and she's like flying through the air, and he grabs her, and I was like, oh, sweet.
Yeah, I was like, oh, for a moment there, did you think Arya was gonna fucking die?
I thought the second that she dropped the dagger that he caught it
Oh, yeah.
and was
would
gonna stab her.
because he's so fucking OP.
yeah, you
You're
just
like,
assume that was
he just did that to Theon, like, and
Yeah.
it was over.
He's like, cool,
And I
thanks.
was so scared for Arya, and I was like, whoa, this is her fucking moment.
Yeah.
Like, she dies, and maybe that gives Jon like the rage or something. I don't know, but no, Arya takes the glory, and I don't mind it. I thought that was one of the better parts in that it shocked me and it surprised me. I'm glad about that. And she uses and now that I think about it, because we had a little more time to think about it after the break. The dagger that kind of started it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The dagger that was meant to assassinate Bran.
Yep.
Or Bran. No.
Bran.
Bran is the dagger that fucking destroys the Night King and saves Bran. So I thought that was kind of cool. But it's like there were so many seeds planted in Game of Thrones, and I don't know. This one just kind of feels like it's like they just plucked one.
Yeah.
Like a fan.
They're like, oh,
theory or
she's
something.
there now,
Fan
and
theory.
he's dead. It's like, what?
I don't know.
What?
Well, it's like why we talk about the Deadpool. We talk about what we
And-
predict. It's like why predict? Why do anything if it feels like they're just pulling shit out of a hat?
Yeah.
And like everyone's got plot armor and nothing actually matters. That's what 40 to 60.
This was the one series to do it, and I was just so surprised that so many people survived here. And I now that doesn't mean that they can't die, because Alex was right again. The final boss is Cersei. There's still an outside chance, actually.
It could be Daenerys.
I-
yeah.
that Daenerys an
I don't
outside
know.
chance. And even you're letting go of that
I
theory.
mean, like it's possible.
Is there's just not enough
but
time?
I
It doesn't
don't-
feel like enough time is
Yeah.
left for Daenerys to
It would
pull
be
one
really
on her.
cheap if they.
And
but they could
honestly,
do it.
seeing how all this shit is going, seeing that plot armor, seeing how characters literally cannot die no matter what, it's gotta go the most predictable way, which is, okay, we got rid of this, Night King. His forces are done. Our forces are obliterated. There's 12 of us. They're gonna go with an infiltration mission over to fucking King's Land.
Okay, so if we're going back to those predictions and everything,
Yeah.
where Danny had seen the castle and everything, and snow and winter has come, and the entire
Right.
castle's in ruins. What brings the winter then? What's the solemn part behind that?
Oh fuck!
Because it's clearly not the White
Where
Walkers
is the
anymore.
winter?
Well, you know,
that
yeah,
was, I
it-
guess,
it's-
it's just symbolic.
It's
It's
just
just-
symbolic.
it's winter
Okay,
there
then
already.
I guess.
Fuck, man! I wanted the Night King.
something
Well, that's why I put
cooler.
all my whole theory was that the Night King was the final boss, and that we were going to deal with Cersei and the Night King sort of at the same time.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking. And then once I saw him at this battle,
Yep.
because I couldn't see shit, by the way. Half the time
Yeah.
I couldn't tell which dragon was which. And when I fucking finally saw him, though, and I was like, oh yeah, Cersei's the final boss.
Really?
He's gonna die right here. I knew he was gonna die right there. If he was there, he was gonna die there. And it was, in fact, at one point he gets fucking knocked off his fucking
the
dragon.
coolest moment ever. He gets knocked off a dragon. He just like looks up and does like the come at me, bro, as he's falling. He's not even moving his arms. He's just looking at
Yeah,
you, just like,
straight up like-
what's up? I'm falling off my dragon.
up?
I'm still
That's
more
fine.
powerful
Fucking
than
see you later, bitch.
Yeah. What's up, fuckers?
What's up? Fucking shows up later
does
with
that
with his generals and
every
shit.
time where-
I thought like maybe our main characters would get in a sword fight with the generals or something like that, and they'd start cutting them and then bits and pieces of the army. But no, they went straight. Arya went straight for the kill
Yeah.
shot. Ended everything right at the most desperate moment, though. Honestly, in fucking, we have to give some suspension of disbelief that they would be able to hold him off for that long.
No.
But
No.
the suspension of disbelief broke for me, and that's why I was so mad initially at the beginning of the episode. But let's talk about some of the good things now, since we shit all over it. Is there
No,
any good
no,
things
I
left?
thought this was gonna be like it's no longer being written by George R. R. Martin. They're coming up with their own stuff. He's giving them points. I thought this was gonna be David Benioff and D.B. Weiss's Red Wedding. I thought this was the chance
Black
where
Wedding.
we have all of this
Right.
where we're talking about
Everybody
stuff
would be
and
talking about,
we're
oh
setting
my
it
God.
up, and this is the opportunity for them to be like main characters. No one is so important that they cannot die, and they showed that. Characters are so important that they cannot die. And they showed it in such a ridiculous fashion. I mean, truly, it is absolutely worthy of ridicule.
Super tropey. There's
absolutely tropey.
Filled with tropes.
I was hoping that
Fake outs.
Brienne was gonna die in a really epic way, trying to save Jaime.
No, she's a fan favorite. Girl
But
power.
No.
No girl
As
power.
the female who's on these reviews, that is just straight up ridiculous.
No, but-
you killed
but
the little girl. You can.
The
kill
little girl
Brienne.
died, so
But
I
she's
guess
not a
no
real
girl power. But
character.
she gets the most glorious death, and that she takes out a giant, and the giant does something that make no damn sense. But okay.
Fuck it.
Arya girl power kills the fucking Night King as well. Okay, I just. We looked this up while my batteries are off. I said Ghost died at the beginning.
No, yeah, he goes alive.
Ghost somehow makes it out.
Apparently.
He's in an image of
Brienne
Brienne.
was like, all right, and just running marked in.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
something.
see that
Yeah,
shit.
who
Ghost
knows?
survives, so I guess they don't have a problem with the wolves. And I think both of the dragons survived. Drogon managed to shake off all the zombies, though he got stabbed like 300 times.
He should have been dead.
And then Rhaegal is also alive, even though he crash landed and he was absent the whole episode. He's laying down there like a bitch, even though Drogon was getting stabbed and
He's
shit.
fine.
Well, Rhaegal,
What, he
Rhaegal got bit a bunch of
He
times
got
and
bit and scratched, but is that
Yeah.
the same thing as fucking stabbed?
Oh,
and
Rhaegal's
shit?
gonna die. off
I
screen
would rather
somewhere.
get stabbed by White Walkers a couple times than scratched by a dragon once. Because we saw Sir Berek get stabbed
bit.
like 50 times and
He's-
didn't go down.
yeah.
So.
Okay, fine. But okay, so those three are confirmed living, and we have a bunch of deaths if you count some minor characters. So here's the confirmed death count: Ed,
Yep.
Berek,
Yep.
Lyanna, Theon Greyjoy,
Yep.
Jorah Mormont,
Yep.
Melisandre,
Doesn't count.
and the Night King.
Doesn't count.
fucking count.
Yeah.
But those
You
that
don't
would
get
be
to predict
7.
your own death like throughout the entire series, and then it counts
And
as a
we all
death.
knew the Night King would fucking die and lose because he's the bad guy. And confirmed living: Ghost, Drogon, Rhaegal. And if you want to throw it in there, 99.9% of Dothraki are dead. 99.8% of all Sullied are dead. This is from the Reddit thread. And the Reddit thread is so fucking funny. I want to read this post
it's
from,
a nightmare.
that's clever. Oh, how clever. Bran. Yo, Theon, get redemption and sacrifice yourself for me. I'm just going to chill here and play Raven Flight Simulator 2000. Gotta go. And he's like, God damn. So there were obviously big moments that I had problems with the episode. But at the same time, it was well acted, well filmed, well executed. I even liked the music. Did you remember that
I like the
moment?
music.
There's a fucking Terminator moment in here, and I swear to
yeah.
God, it's the exact Terminator song. Not the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, it was the...
It's a T-1000.
When the T-1000 reforming in the fire, when she fires and
That's cool.
on the fire on Night King, and he even smiles. And I was like, oh, this fucking
guy is
kid
the
cool.
coolest.
He is. Fucking cool, but he's a little bitch because he could hear fucking John coming and he could fucking raise the dead, and I was like, oh my God, that was another
That was
epic
cool.
moment.
That's when John should have died.
Well, you know,
John
I think
can't
John
die.
could keep going a little bit, but then he'll eventually die because I thought John would die.
I need more
and I also
people
thought Danny would
to
die.
die.
I didn't
I
think.
need them to die.
I know, but I didn't think any of the main characters, like super main characters, would die except for maybe one. That would shock us, and then get a little bit more of the side
I
characters.
was hoping for like 2. I think I had written down that Jamie's gonna die.
the dragons, at least.
Like a dragon.
But here's
or
why the dragons
something.
couldn't die, because Cersei has set up all those fucking harpoons. So
Well, and
we got to
we could've
pay
had
those
one
harpoons
live.
off.
Well, the other thing is like the intro to the show. Since this whole season, they show in the intro to the show Balerion the Dread Skull getting shot with that ballista over and over and over, and it's like, oh man, they're beating you over the head with a scorpion thing, and they're just gonna kill all the dragons with
all
those.
this stuff was leading up to, we should have seen it coming. especially with the scene in one of the last seasons in the battle with Jamie. How he remember?
Oh,
the
Bronn
scene?
takes down a dragon.
He charges
shoots
a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon fires at him. He gets in the water. He's in full plate mail.
Oh, full plot
gonna
armor
die.
mode.
And
Yeah.
he still survives, and he survives through this as well. And you know what? He's gonna survive till the end. Maybe he could still die at the end.
I hope he kills his sister. I hope that's like knowing he's the
The
Kingslayer. He can be the Queenslayer as well.
No, it's Arya. Arya is the main character. Arya. Everybody thought Jon was getting all the glory. It's Arya because she's gonna kill Cersei. She's gonna infiltrate with a face. Because that could have been cool if she used a face of like one of the zombies or something, and you could see it in the background. One of the zombies were moving, and you're like, wait a minute, that's kind of weird. That all the zombies kind of were stopped in this little area, and then she jumps out, and it's fucking Arya, and you're like, what the fuck? But they didn't film it that way, so I don't know. I guess.
How do you do it? So it's like if
Battle 10 out of 10. A lot of confusing things and things that make me feel weird and conflicted. Let's go ahead and try to give a final.
Do you want to go first
for the episode?
No, I don't want to go
Okay.
first. I want to hear both
So
of your
I
opinions.
feel that this the way that it was shot and the way it was gorgeous. It was amazing. It was exciting. And as long as you weren't thinking about anything that was happening, it was great. And so for that's like 10 out of 10. The problem is the tropes, especially the plot armor, how ridiculous some of the situations were. The out of left field, floating, invisible, jumping
Even
over.
if you're a huge Game of Fans Game of Thrones fan. Wow, I got a dyslexia. That's my dyslexia kicking in. You have to admit you're surprised by how many people fucking survived this insane slaughter of
Well, so like for storytelling,
important characters.
Yeah.
Because we go from 60,000 to like 15 soldiers, and guess what? All 15 are named characters.
Yeah, they're fine. Don't worry.
So if you have 10 out of 10 in battles, which is important, but that's not what a TV show is, just the battles. And then for storytelling, this is below average for Game of Thrones. This is not just below average. This is super below average for Game of Thrones. This is like a 3 as far as storytelling goes. The ridiculousness of everyone surviving. You show people almost dying, and then they get back up, and then they almost die, and then they get back up, and then they almost die.
Even though it's cool looking.
And then they get back up.
It's cotton candy.
And it's just garbage. There's no substance. And so, like, do you just average those two things together?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
If that's the case, this is like a 6 or a 7 because it's absolutely amazing and it's super fun to watch. As long as you're not thinking of them suiciding all the Dothraki for no reason.
Yeah.
They set up their defenses behind them. They could funnel everyone through the fire, but instead they're standing in front of
this
everything.
Series about tactical plans and military.
Or have
thing
like
is the
2
worst
different,
military strategy.
trenches.
They shoot trebuchets and their catapults once, which I thought was
without knowing their targets.
Now,
They
do you
just
think the
randomly-
trebuchets are better, or the catapults are better? Because the internet needs to know if you,
Reddit.
But so it's like all of that other stuff is just so garbagey.
But I'm looking at Reddit and everybody is fucking loving it. They're just
Well, I don't
like,
care
out
what
of
everyone
fucking
likes. It's
control.
like they're also like, and they're in their own echo chamber. They hear everyone talk about how amazing it is, and that next week, or 3 weeks from now, or 3 months from now, when the emotion is gone, when the adrenaline calms down a little bit, and they realize, man, this episode, while absolutely amazing, is garbage as far as substance and writing and characters go.
I'm hoping. I keep interrupting. Go.
So I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to upgrade this to a 7 on my scale, only within the Game of Thrones. This is nowhere near Battle of the Bastards, nowhere near Hard Home. It's
not as clean because of all those tropes that
but
happen
it's
over and
better than those episodes in so many
in
ways.
directing and
In
battle
all.
sequences.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I am the most conflicted I have ever been, and I feel you, Alex. Do you want to go or you want me to go?
Did he actually give?
Yeah, he said 7.
It should be a 6, but I'm gonna give it a 7 because the battles were incredibly amazing. I think the directing was spot on, but man, the story sucked.
Erica.
Okay, I really wanted a lot of people to die. I am a very morbid person where this is Game of Thrones. People should
This is
have
the one
died.
place.
This is the one place where I felt comfortable saying on the leaderboard that a lot of people were going to die, if not almost everybody. And so I was disappointed because Brienne should have died. I believe Jaime or Tormund or somebody else should have died.
One of the
Jaime or
brothers.
Tormund.
Tyrion and
Tormund.
Sansa should have died. So those are my 3 big ones. That scene, this would have given me a 9. I would have given it a 9.
Sure.
I was literally holding on to him a good majority of the time. I leaned
just
in.
reining in and
I was like, oh, and I was covering my mouth the whole time. You really had my emotions pulled, and just every single bit. It was so emotion filled, and I've given every single episode a 7 up to this point, and I really want to give it an 8. I really want to give it an 8.
Okay.
But on my morbid end, I'm going to give it a 7.
Wow.
Because I wanted more people to die. It was unrealistic that they didn't die.
Right.
And
you felt that plot armor really affected your enjoyment of the thing.
It
was
did, because
silly.
there was
No, I
too many
agree with you
people.
guys. Okay, so but I'm saying there are so many aspects to this episode that was a 10 out of 10, and I could see somebody loving it and praising it, but to do that, you also have to ignore a lot of things that went down. And if you're a fan of the series, it may not bother you. But when we've seen other media and we know how Game of Thrones goes and we know what the stakes are and what all these other things are, I feel like it was too much fan service, and that George R.R. Martin, when he writes the books, is going to be something different. Now, here's the saving grace. I think this sets up a Force Awakens situation where I know I'm comparing it to Star Wars, but I feel like there's problems right now, and there is some episodes left. There are 3 episodes left, so we still have an outside chance that you're going to get what you want, where more motherfucking people are dying. What I get, what I want, then more fucking people die. It just seems highly unrealistic that the most epic battle, the one battle that this whole series has been leading up to from the pilot, more people didn't die. So that's why I'm holding on to that small outside chance. But 10 out of 10s, I don't think the story was as bad as you were saying, like a 3 or a 4. I do think it was slightly above average because the way it was filmed and the way it was told. So I'm going to have to combine these 2 ratings into a single rating and give it an 8 out of 10, but without a badass seal of approval. You know what I mean? Because there's so many things in it that I'm like, whoa, maybe they'll die later, or whoa, maybe this will make sense later.
I'm going to go with you. My rating is actually an 8. Because the entire time I was on the edge of my seat. And I would rewatch
Yes! That's another thing. You have to factor in the emotion. Like, it was a fucking
the whole time.
Roller coaster. I was at the edge of my freaking seat. And when an episode can do that, and here's the thing, and I was going to say it on you, is that, and you and me, just because it didn't go the way we wanted, I don't want to be that person that's like, well, just because, that person didn't die and I wanted them to die, that means it's bad. No, we're not saying that, and we're not trying to do that, and I don't want that to affect our rating. We are saying that it's so well done in the direction that it did choose to go, but I can still point out how within the universe this doesn't really make sense. For example, setting up how sensitive the White Walkers are to sound and how much sense and how much OP power the Night King has, and then he just completely...
They would have heard Arya coming from like 3 miles
even
away.
if not, you can't have nobody important die in the he's the ultimate one-dimensional stupid evil character. He wants to exterminate all life.
In the books, he might be more fucking elaborate.
Well, this is the show, though. We were judging.
But you're right. From the show's perspective, that's it. We're never fucking... It was
matter.
all one of the worst fucking villains ever, other than his fucking swagger. That motherfucker had swagger.
He was
very
cool.
cool.
Guy.
But one of the worst villains, White Walkers, one of the most ineffective armies of all time.
Yep.
The Lannisters are more effective.
They were just evil, and for evil's sake, and there was no point. And all
it took was fucking Daenerys, 2 of the houses teaming up. That's all it took.
Yeah.
2 of the houses teaming up with some of their subservient houses,
in
right?
Yeah.
All you had to do to make this more believable is in the courtyard, the ultimate courtyard where everyone is living. Rather than it just be 7 named characters, if there's 7 named characters plus 30, 40 other people that survive, we get scenes where they are the only. It's like Podrick, it's Brienne, and it's Jaime standing alone, and they're just completely surrounded.
Okay.
And then we get Tormund and we get Grey Worm standing alone, and they're the only people alive. That's it. These are the only people alive. I don't believe it.
I know, and I agree with you, and that's why I docked
can't-
it, because it could have been a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yes.
It really could have. And it had the potential to be. But maybe we will get what we want in future episodes. There's 3 episodes left. Are we to believe that not a single other person is going to die in these next 3 episodes?
Who knows at this point?
So I do think there is an outside chance, and maybe we put too much expectations because this was a battle episode.
But this was an unbelievable. This is not
I
a
understand understand,
unbelievable
Alex.
story.
We made that point a bunch of times. The only reason why I'm questioning you, my battery is fucking
Yeah.
going out again.
Yep.
Sorry I didn't charge it for this. I do want to call out Stardust app. Thank you so
thanks,
much.
guys.
Because it's been an amazing ride with these reactions. You can see my passionate reactions on that app.
And
check
the
it out
food.
here.
Game of Thrones episode 3. What kind of feast have you prepared us today, Alex?
We have smoked brisket. We've got flattened point. We've got all sorts of berries and fruit. We've got
These fruits,
apple cider and
alcohol, and the best part, these fruits are carbonated. So as we feast like kings, we're gonna see them drop like flies in this big battle. It's gonna be awesome. Game of Thrones
excited.
episode 3. Let's do it. Woo!
Thank you for making that food for us, Alex. It was fucking amazing. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Follow us on the app. It supports the show directly. Let's get that follower count up, guys. Tag me in any of your reactions and posts. And thank you guys so much for watching the episode. I'm still conflicted. Remember, this review is minutes afterwards. So leave your comments down below. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why it's the best. Tell me why more people are going to die, Joe, and that nobody had plot armor. Tell me all that stuff, even though you're wrong. But tell me it, all right? See you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.